Alright, so I don't know how to start this because I've never done something like this. I just want to thank everyone in this subreddit who's like actually interact with it. I thought it was just gonna disappear, like no one would ever see it, so I just want to thank them so very much. And here's a little breakdown on how I did it. I basically start with this background right here that I found, and then because it's a little bit too bright for my comfort, I made it a little bit darker using an exposure layer, and then I added the levels to make it a little darker. Then I added just a bunch of dust. So I just found this image on Google. It's just a statue, it's an action figure basically, and I added some lighting to it. It's just a hue and saturation. Then I added this to make it look a little brighter, which is just another hue and saturation layer. I just grabbed the brush and just went all over it. And I added these cool like fire thingies, and I made them purple by adding a hue and saturation adjustment layer. And then I did that, I copied this one like a whole bunch of times so it looked good. The original image, he didn't have any fucking legs. He was a torso. So I just slapped on legs, and then I did all the lighting and stuff, and I'll explain how I did that right now. First thing I had to do is just add some shading to his feet, so it looks like he's actually planted on the surface. Then I added some shadows, and then I added some light behind him, added more shadows to his feet. Then I added a levels layer, and you grab this levels and you change it to multiply, so it's gonna look like this, and you change it to multiply, and then you grab a brush and you just dabble on the dark areas and make it look darker. And you basically do the same thing, a levels layer, but this time you change the screen and then you draw on the bright areas. Then you add an exposure layer and make it a little bit darker, and then you add another exposure layer and make it a little darker, and then I added this. It's just a solid color, and I added a soft light so it matches a little bit, it makes it a little purple. Right, and then to do the lighting, I basically just do a hue and saturation layer, hit colorize, bring it up, and then bring up the lightness. You hit this little box, you hit Control I, and then you go to a brush and you make sure it's white, and then you just hit that. Then once again, you go here by double clicking the layer, then you hit Alt, and then I just hit here, and then boom, it should look a little bright. And then I added a little bit of blue because there's blues right here. I did the exact same thing, but this time it was brighter and it was only on the edges. So here's the pink and here's the blue. And then for the Jojo text, I basically had to make that from scratch. It wasn't fun. I basically grabbed the green screen background thing and I just traced over it and made it my own. The texture that you see on it is actually like wood planks. And then I just painted over it and made it look pretty nice. And I added a drop shadow. Then I added the chains. So basically I did another exposure layer, made it darker. Then I just added an exposure layer, making it dark. Then I added a hue saturation layer to make it look brighter. Alright, and after you got the color correction, you hit a new layer, hit Control Shift, Alt and E, and it just combines everything. Then I go here, filter camera raw. And then I just started playing around with shit till I got this.